You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show.
Welcome to AfterBuzz TV for the special NXT Takeover special event that was exclusively live on the WWE Network. I am the Internet Soapbox Mark Donica, and joining me as always is the streets True Hobo.
I am a man of the wrestling ring, the streets, the railways, the United States, and now your computer if you're watching us on YouTube, because you're not next to me anymore. You cannot hinder my magnificence.
You kind of do that to yourself. Tonight's 2-hour special was one of the greatest examples of professional wrestling that probably since the last special.
Actually, I think that this was better than the last special. The last special was good. This topped it. This gave me ideas for future stuff that they could do that on top of everything they're already doing down at Full Sail University with NXT. You could build on this. This is a platform to launch a new empire.
New empire!
New empire!
New empire!
New empire!
New empire!
Stop it!
Stop it! Yeah, you got it.
Don't copy me!
I know you are, but what am I? Tense makes sense.
Grade school.
But I'll agree with you. This showed things that we can honestly say as fans we have never seen before. There were reversals, there were takedowns, there were moves, stuff that we were just going like, I don't know, never seen that before. It was amazing, and the pre-show was cool. They showed a lot of the packages that they showed on the special that aired last night on the WWE Network, but we had the benefit today of, alongside Renee Young, having Christian and Paul Heyman on the dais to talk about the different packages that aired to build up the matches. It was nice.
No, it was really smart. I mean, everything. Christian's great as an in-ring performer. He has experience that just goes on, and his ability to talk about his experience versus these newcomers is fantastic. But really, there's something special about when Paul Heyman talks about a superstar and how he's been looking at a particular superstar. It elevates him. Just automatically, you go, really? You've been watching him. I wonder if that could lead to something. If there's something special.
He mentioned that he had been keeping an eye on Tyson Kidd over the years, which even whether he actually has or hasn't, that talks him up a lot. Just to say it,
those words makes you just sort of go, really? It makes you listen harder and take Tyson Kidd just a little bit more seriously, because you see the depth of Paul Heyman's roster of the guys that he has been in allegiance with over the years, especially, ECW, and now he's got Brock Lesnar and all the people who's brought under his wing are fantastic performers who have really accomplished a lot.
And speaking of Tyson Kidd, there was a wonderful interview that Michael Cole conducted with him and Natty about the TakeOver pay-per-view, because both of them pay-per-view special live event, because they both had title matches, and they brought in Total Divas. This is the first time they've brought in the Total Divas in a way that worked for the story, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you see a lot of that couple on Total Divas, and this is that same couple in a completely different light. And I think this has got to be the first time a husband and wife have had title matches in a single night.
Yeah, well,
knowledge.
WrestleMania 30, Brie, technically, it wasn't a one-on-one match, but Brie, I guess they got married later that week, so technically, but as a couple, there were two title matches that they were involved in.
But it played a huge part in this interview, especially because, I mean, Natty was talking over her husband,
and Cole caught her on it.
And Cole was like egging it on. He almost seemed like a party very interested in the drama that was unfolding before him, and poking the bear and trying to get a reaction. And there was some very tense moments in that interview.
Yes, and the pre-show ended with the Exotic Express rolling up and the party pouring from the bus outside, and then they started the program where the party kept going into the ring for the first contest, which was Adam Rose versus Camacho.
Just without a break. It was just perfect. Absolutely how it should have been, and how I think we've been talking about how it should be and how that's how things should start, and they listened and they did it, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Just seeing the parade, and everybody could get into it, and I think it let this match be that much more hotly contested.
Yes, and unfortunately there was a dark match, which Triple H tweeted out before the show started, which was Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Wish that could have been a part of the show.
Well, you try. I mean, somebody else had said that they wanted to see another women's match tonight, but we got another women's match. We just couldn't see it.
Yeah, because we've seen that match before, and it's always been great. So it would have been great to show. We still haven't seen Bayley as a part of the network special. Like, the main WWE Universe technically still hasn't seen her. So I wonder when that coming up part is going to be, especially since her entrance is so big.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I think we're going to see more of Sasha. But I guess we'll just get into that a little bit later.
We'll get into that a little bit later. Before we get to the Adam Rose and Camacho match, we want to take you to a quick video about Maria Menounos' new book, the Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness.
Hey guys, Maria Menounos here, and I want to share my newest book, The Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, with you. Basically, every woman always stops me and asks me how I lost 40 pounds. So I decided to put it all in one book. Everything I did to lose 40 pounds step by step, and how you can too, is in here. I did it with no time, no money, and no willpower, and now I'm going to show you how to do it too. You can pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, wherever books are sold, and it's out June 3rd. So I hope you guys love it. I hope it helps you in your weight loss journey, and please, please tweet me and update me on your progress at Maria Menounos. Thanks.
And there's a lot in here. There's interviews, there's recipes. It's going to be a good read. Make sure you pre-order it today.
Maria Menounos looks like a superstar. She's got a superstar's body, and she's gotten in the ring, which definitely makes her a superstar. And I think this could lend everybody else to look like a superstar too.
Male or female.
If you're looking at these live events and thinking to yourself, wow, everybody is in such fantastic shape, I want to be in the same shape they are, there's a good way to start.
100%. No, it's great. So make sure to check it out on Amazon. Now, getting into the show, we got right into Adam Rose and Camacho, and this started the show off in a magnificent way. I was hoping, we've only seen Adam Rose do kind of quick faffing about, not necessarily comedy matches, but I was hoping that this would be the first time we really get to see him in there and fighting the good fight.
He always has a comedy element, and I think the last match he had with Camacho on NXT, he really cut a lot of that out. He was very serious. He took that match very seriously, and that ended in Camacho taking a back. He didn't quite prepare for the man that he was facing that night, and tonight there's no way he could have prepared for Adam Rose.
No, we got a couple of new jokey escapes type of things to really offset Camacho. Put him in a full Nelson pretty early in the contest, and Adam Rose butt danced his way out of it.
Hey, nothing makes a straight man more uncomfortable than another man's rear end rubbing his crotch.
I mean,
what, would you like to argue that point
clearly
with
you've never
me?
been to Singapore. There's also Rose
boys don't
jumped
count.
right into Camacho's arms like it was about to be a sidewalk slam, but he just kind of talked to him. Hey, how's your day? How you doing?
Yeah, it's sort of a headlock, but he was hi.
Yeah. And then Camacho decided to really he said, party pooper this, and huge underarm butterfly suplex just over the head.
I've never seen one that high.
No, it was like we were talking about Natty's last week being huge because of how tiny Sasha is, but this was even more impressive because of how big Adam Rose is.
Sasha's had more of Natty's had more of a snap on it. She kind of went back with it. This was almost stalled. He could have stalled it if he wanted and just held it, but it went all the way up and all the way down.
Huge slam down.
Amazing.
there's a really nice, a different type of choke that we're just not necessarily used to seeing.
Well, it's not one that's commonly used.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Camacho puts his arm around Adam Rose's own arm around his neck, and then jerks up on the arm to choke him out.
It's like a cross-facing yourself.
Yeah.
Is what it turns into, and it cuts off the oxygen and puts a lot of pressure on that shoulder joint. A lot of pressure.
Yeah. Then Adam, we saw him. Usually he starts to hook up when he starts to get serious, but Camacho cut that right off and put him right back into that choke.
Camacho looked good tonight. I think better tonight than he has in a long time. I feel he's really starting to come into his own. There were a lot of moves he was doing tonight, and a lot of the intensity that he brought really lent us to just stop and take a moment, and really take in all that Camacho was doing. It was very good.
Very impressive big boot. Very impressive. He usually does a throw Samoan drop, but he didn't do that tonight. But his leg drop, his huge jumping leg drop that he does, it was even more impressive tonight, just because he stayed in control the entire match until Adam Rose got in a beautiful spine buster, his Bronco buster. I don't know what is he calling that, the Exotic Express or the Expressway.
I don't know, but the way
something.
he does it, it's very impactful.
Yeah,
and he doesn't stay there. It's bam and rolls right off.
It's a big heavy shot to the sternum, and then he set him right up for the party foul. And got the win. Adam Rose got the win over Camacho, and looks like he's going into the Payback pay-per-view very strong this Sunday. And
the crowd was firmly behind Rose the entire time. Camacho was the kind of bad guy that could really make a good guy look good and want the crowd to cheer for the good guy to get the win, and that's what the crowd got tonight.
Everybody was chanting his music. Everybody was singing along to the music, and that's, I'm sure, what the brass up high are looking for. An entire arena singing the oh-oh-oh-ohs.
I mean, how could you not do it? I mean, just with the whole entrance, you're there. It's real. It's not one of those things that sort of begins and ends when the curtain, when the guy comes through the curtain. It's something that is bigger than that. When they come from that bus into the arena, man, it's real. They're right there. It's 100% real. You can touch it. Oh, and people love that.
You never see the party stop.
No.
No. Even if you follow some of the folks on Twitter, like I Am Smiley for one, you see that the party does keep going even when they're traveling from show to show.
And Smiley is the party. If there's anybody who's got enough infectious energy to keep that party going, it's Smiley.
He is the lemon at the party.
Yes.
Like he is the one person that is kind of like, don't be a lemon, be a rosebud, but that's the lemon, and he's still here having a good time.
Right.
So he's double proving.
It's like it's the comedy aspect. He's looking at the people in the crowd who don't like Adam Rose, who don't think that he can get over, and he's looking them dead in the face and going, "Bah, I'm you." Bah.
And it's pretty dang entertaining.
Absolutely.
After this match, we got the Ascension versus El Local and Kalisto. Still no name.
They're lucha to me, baby. They really are.
Yeah.
That's what the crowd calls them. That's what I'm calling them.
That's what they're chanting.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, the Ascension haven't changed their name to Ya yet, and that's all that the crowd chants at them. So maybe it might be Lucha, it might not. Very hot start. A very hot start to this match. We got a double Hurricanrana from Kalisto and El Local, and when they went to dive outside the ring, the Ascension cut them right off.
Man, they looked at each other and just went, "We are not letting this continue."
Ain't having none of this. And then the Ascension stayed in control for most of the match. There was a lot of just, there's a big tree of woe, a big neck breaker with dropping the elbow down from Victor onto Kalisto, who was just, every minute he would try to make the tag, could not.
And he was trying. He was fighting back. He's got a lot of heart, and little guys need to have heart because they definitely don't have size.
You were mentioning during the match that this is kind of a face-to-face contest just because of how hot the Florida crowd is for the Ascension.
It's how the crowd was treating it. The crowd was treating it like both of these guys were on an equal playing field, and neither of them were doing necessarily your typical bad guy stuff. I'd say Ascension was strong. They're strong, period. End of story. Everything they do is strong, and they continued that. And Local and Kalisto really had to maneuver their way through the offense of Ascension.
Especially the strength of Connor against the size of Kalisto was somewhat entertaining. He totally chokeslammed him into the ropes from the outside, and Kalisto looked like he didn't have enough oomph to hit the barricade, but he at least hit the ground.
It's the ropes themselves can be a weapon. If I know a lot of you haven't, but if you run the ropes, it's like taking a baseball bat across the back. And
It's rough. No, I've run the ropes. It's rough.
That's the best way to take it. If it feels like a baseball bat, it's a good thing, because if it's anything less than that, it'll tear your flesh off. I'm not kidding. So him just picking up and throwing Kalisto against the ropes hurts a lot.
And it wasn't enough to knock him out, because Kalisto got a bit of a head scissors on Victor and slammed him into the apron.
That was great.
Yeah, that was
he just
really
grabbed
cool.
him with his feet and ran him into the apron. I'm like, well, I've never seen anybody do that.
And that was when the reverse started, and Kalisto made the tag to El Local. Pretty hot. He didn't get as much air as he wanted to on the springboard
What
splash.
he lacked in air, he definitely made up for in momentum.
Very much
Coming
so.
off of those ropes, he just was able to floor his opponent with it may have tried to be a crossbody. It was a headbutt to the sternum is what it turned into. And that'll take you off your feet, let me tell you.
Yeah, he's a big dude, though.
He's not little, no. He's actually
he's
just
really tall.
He's a little taller than me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's got size.
He's about as tall as Ricardo Rodriguez.
Just about.
Just about.
There's
about that tall.
maybe a couple, maybe an inch difference. Maybe.
Yeah, it's the hair.
Yeah.
But there was a very big moonsault from El Local, but Victor ended up getting a very impressive STO in the corner, which led to the fall of Man and the fall of El Local and Kalisto, with Ascension retaining their championship.
It was very much your Ascension-styled match. They were in the driver's seat for the the vast majority of the match, and they got the win. But it was good to see their opponents, having actual opponents who have offense, who they have to fight to retain. That was very good.
It was a real tag match.
You could actually do this match again. This is one of those dynamics that you can grow on and grow on.
I think this is just the start of something where maybe eventually down the road, after wearing down on the Ascension, El Local and Kalisto can win the tag team championships.
Yeah.
But this is, it's their first outing, and it was a great first outing. They got a lot of good offense in there, kept them off their feet as often as they could, but it was nice to see a real tag team match from the Ascension.
Right, and what the Ascension is good at is keeping their opponents down and making you want to see more out of their opponents. From Kalisto tonight, we did not see the no handspring.
Oh, which
is one thing you want to see. So obviously you're going to tune in again the next time they're on, because it's something you want to see that you don't get to see. Superfly Jimmy Snuka did the same thing. He didn't do the dive every night.
Nope.
He did not, which made you want to come back and see it. For that moment, he did do it, and you were there to witness it.
It made it that much more special.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And that crowd in Florida gets to see a whole lot of stuff, which makes me jealous that they don't tour it out of the Florida area.
Well, they do a heck of a job touring inside of Florida.
Yes, they do.
They are on the road.
They're all over the place.
At least once a week, they're doing live shows all over the Florida area.
And so it's good that they're training them on both the live show aspect as well as the televised show, because both are important. I think it would be also important to get different regions as opposed to the same state.
That's true, but then you have the difficulty of travel and airfare, and right now they're doing all normal car transport.
Yeah.
They aren't doing airfare or anything like that.
Everybody get on the Exotic Express.
Right. Just hop on the big bus.
Everybody has a good time.
Absolutely.
We get every match is kind of like, this whole thing had a main event feel because every match felt big, and
because there was a build to every match.
Yes, every match had a wonderful story leading to it to make you invested in not just like, oh, this person who I want to win, but both competitors.
And then there were good matches on top of that. It wasn't all story based, so people who don't normally watch NXT could tune in tonight and go, that was an incredible match, and then actually go back and watch NXT and see the story build to the match.
WWE Network, exclusive there's computers, you can get on Xbox One, you can get it on Roku, anywhere. You should probably pick it up because this show was amazing.
Yep.
And I don't know if this necessarily stole the show. I would say this is tied for my match of the night, but Zayn versus Tyler Breeze. Sami Zayn versus Tyler Breeze.
It was
notes upon notes upon notes on this.
It might have been, it may have stolen the show. I don't want to say that I was sort of underestimating this match, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was because I can't use curse words to describe it, but that is how I feel.
Yeah.
Quite strongly.
Yes, this, I mean, kind of speechless. Kind of speechless, just like, holy crap.
If
like,
you thought you knew Tyler Breeze, I mean, sure, it's easy to know Sami Zayn because of his independent roots. But if you don't think Tyler Breeze can go, baby, go home.
watch this match and be totally proven wrong.
Just watch it. Just
like I'm just trying to look at a place to start. Like it started not necessarily slow, but there was a lot of wrist locks.
It had a catch start.
Yeah.
These guys were trying a very, very catch style of wrestling to start it off. They wanted to establish themselves physically as actual fighters before actually going into more complex aerial movements as the night went on.
Yeah, we saw Breeze pull off a turnbuckle bulldog to the second turnbuckle, which was impressive. It was like a combination of Miz's kick that he does, where he runs him through.
Right. Most times you do see the clothesline into the seated position on the rope. I've never seen that bulldog done like that before.
Just took him on with him, and smacked against his head.
And it's a serious offensive move because taking the buckle alone is painful, but then you have the entire force of somebody else's body pulling you into it. So it's quite a torque on the head and neck.
There was the front face lock that Tyler Breeze put Sami Zayn in, that he just, with all of his might, tried a couple times to lift him up and ended up just flapjacking him right on his stomach. That was mean, and one of those things was like, yeah, Zayn. Yeah. One of those underdog moments that you can't help but just really get into the match with. He ended up baiting Breeze over the ropes and hitting his Asai Arabian press, which bunch
of fancy words.
That's his move.
It was a seated springboard moonsault to the outside.
But back in the days of El Generico, which you should probably do some research on, it's easy to find on YouTube. He called it his Asai Arabian press.
Don't talk down to me.
I mean, I'm just saying you should probably spend more time being a fan like I am. He followed it up with a beautiful splash off the top rope, Blue Thunder Bomb, and the fans chanted one more time because they wanted to see him do that beautiful, beautiful move
Every
again.
time he does it, it's just gorgeous because of the rotation in the air that his opponent gets before getting driven is impressive.
Tyler Breeze hits a very pretty super kick and an impaler DDT, which he doesn't do, but he did
it tonight.
He did it, and he got Sami Zayn in the corner, flung him up, and hit him with a sit down power bomb. What did we ended up calling that?
I called it a jerk bomb because it was the jerk of the legs,
that
catch it, and bomb him down.
Yeah. There was this is when Breeze, he missed a couple of, or he didn't get the pin that he wanted. He was only getting 2 counts, and that's when he started getting really frustrated, beating Sami down, pulled away from the ref only to go back and keep hitting him again.
Like a dog with a bone, just keeps coming back for more, chomping.
But you should never count Sami Zayn out because he hits him with his corner exploder suplex. Well, again, beautiful. This whole match was beautiful, and it wasn't just because Breeze was in it. Then there was the rear the rear reversals that they just kept spinning around each other,
striking off on each other, and then reversal after reversal after reversal, trying to get something.
A quick super kick, slap to the face of Breeze, which you should never do, as you can hear from the fans. Not the face.
He just lost it.
Yeah.
How dare you?
But that's when Zayn pulled out another old Generico move that he doesn't usually do, the double pump handle orange crush, which is complicated.
They had some trouble getting into this, but I really think it's because Breeze was fighting him on it.
Yeah.
Breeze actually managed to get Zayn's shoulders down just for a second before he powered back up, just threw Breeze in the air.
Yeah.
As high as he possibly
couldn't even catch him.
He lost him. He sat down before he could catch him. Man, that's power. That was power.
And that's the setup for Zayn's kick that he does in the corner. Used to be called the hell of a kick while we're in El Generico territory. Okay, gotta call it
Fine.
out. Gotta call it.
Okay.
And we see a very interesting defense from from Tyler Breeze.
He defended himself like anybody with a brain would defend themselves. He dropped down and covered himself.
Covered himself up. His elbows were out a little bit, just a little bit. And Sami ends up taking a low blow, an inadvertent low blow. And the ref was like, dude, you can't do that. He was like, he
was defending himself. It was a defensive move. It was not offensive, and because of that, it was not a disqualification. The match was allowed to continue.
Beauty shot, Breeze,
Boom.
1, 2, 3. Breeze is your new #1 contender for the NXT Championship. Thank goodness.
And of not an undisputed #1 contender.
No, that was
in the least.
amazing.
You could dispute the hell out of that finish.
And we'll probably get some dispute next week.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. And we'll also get the debut of Tyler Breeze's new music video because he debuted his new single of which he sang, I believe it's called Selfie King, but there will be a music video accompanying that will be debuted next week on NXT.
And I know you're looking forward to it because he's gorgeous.
Are you talking to me or the general public? Because I definitely am, because it's bleeding hilarious.
You're not wearing pants under there, are you?
No, I'm wearing shorts.
Okay.
So
Short shorts?
we thought we were going to get the next match, which seemed weird because there was about an hour left in the show. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, Natty and Charlotte can go along. Lana comes out. The Ravishing Russian introduces Rusev, who's aggressively swinging the Russian flag.
Aggressively, but he managed to have it wave. It looked quite beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to break the stick.
Must have been a flag twirler in high school. Introduces
Do they
him
have high schools in
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria?
Maybe, probably.
Maybe.
Primer school. I don't know, something. Lana used a new term, the Iron Fist of Russia, to describe Rusev. And he gave his usual Rusev Udry, Rusev Machka, and we get Mojo Riley's music, who comes out sporting a brand new shirt, Stay Hype, which is weird. It's like blurred because it's like in constant motion. And he comes out with the American flag and says, "This is America. I'm going to shove that flag right up your Putin."
Because they had a picture of Putin.
Yeah, right up there. It's a pretty funny line. Runs right to the ring into a kick to the head by Rusev, and he just gets annihilated.
It's over before it's even begun.
Yeah, he gets the accolade twice. Once in the ring, Lana calls him off, and then as Mojo's crawling back to the ring, to the back, slaps it on him again with the NXT takeover right in the back, which is a really nice shot when you think about it. If you're talking about the folks who came from NXT up to Raw, you see that and go, yeah, this dude's he's taking over this guy, and he's definitely outshined NXT.
Rusev wasn't even advertised for this show, but he came in and he took over.
Yeah, he took control. You could call him a nope, I'm gonna skip that joke. It's a stupid wrestling reference.
If he skips it, it's really, really bad.
It's an honorary member of the BWO because he's taking over. There, I did it. Before we get Charlotte and Natty's match, we see that Chris Christopherson is in the audience because his son is currently training at the Performance Center, and he was Captain Comic. He is Captain Comic, and he got a chance to be in the ring. So it was cool to kind of be like, oh yeah, Chris is here to check out.
I don't know if anybody really knows who it is other than me. Maybe.
No, I know Chris Christopherson.
Right, but I mean, we're kind of a rare breed.
Still, he was an actor,
if you don't
musician.
know who Chris Christopherson, he's a legendary musician, legendary actor. If you don't know who he is, certified genius, absolutely certified genius.
Here, we can do this. We can tie in wrestling. Go back, watch Blade Trinity featuring Triple H. And Chris Christopherson is in that for a little bit because he was in the Blade series.
Right. Yeah. I think they killed him in that one.
Yeah, it was like very early on.
Yeah. We should do that on Superstar Cinema. On
Soapbox Car TV. But Paige comes out, thanks the crowd for getting her to where she is today and getting her the Divas Championship. And
wearing wedge heels.
Yeah.
You're surprised I knew what that was. No. That's all right.
She said whoever holds the NXT Women's Championship literally holds the key to the future. And thanked everybody again, left, and we got our match. Charlotte.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was cool to see her there.
She's well spoken. You sometimes forget that, but when she speaks in public, man, she's really well spoken.
They should really ever do more promos.
Really,
because I think the last time she spoke was when she debuted against AJ.
Yeah, and that was
in terms of on TV, because she's spoken in on Backstage Pass and all that stuff.
Right. And she's really good. I mean, you don't really know until you see it. And it was always nice to be reminded.
It would be nice to see her cut a little bit more of a promo on Alicia Fox before their match at the Payback pay-per-view on Sunday. But
we'll see what happens.
Hopefully, like something that they've been doing on NXT is having the micro promos while the people have been coming out, while they've been coming out to the ring, and that's quick and gets the message across. And if we start seeing that incorporated onto regular WWE TV, I think it would be fantastic.
I mean, that's a very old school thing to do. That's how they used to do stuff, and I think they've just started to bring it back because it's easy.
It works.
Instead of wasting more TV time, you could actually just put it inside and then run it.
Especially since they're showing less and less of wrestlers' entrances on the main shows.
Yeah.
Charlotte got a new theme, which features a remix of Also Sprach Zarathustra to kind of let you know, in case you don't, that she is the daughter of Ric Flair. Of course, she comes down to the ring accompanied by Rick, who is styling and profiling as always, and never turn.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Nat comes out in a wonderful new. I think it's a new robe, maybe not.
It's the same style. But
Yeah, it's the same style, but the pink
remember,
seems brighter.
Right? Yeah. The interior. Damn it! Come on, brain.
Use your fashion knowledge.
The lining on the inside was a brighter shade of pink than I had noticed previously, and the shoulder pads. I dig them shoulder pads.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Of course, coming into the ring by her uncle, Bret Hart.
Yep.
We got a full intro to everybody before the title match, which is nice. Gave it another. I mean, it is a big match, so it pumped up the big match feel.
It really did, yeah.
And there were a couple of times during the match where it seemed a little too overzealous in terms of Charlotte. She showed how green she is in trying to help just a little bit too much with getting some of the moves done. But ultimately, once they sort of got accustomed to being in that ring again, then it was amazing. It was still a really good match.
When you're a new guy starting out and you have a big match, you get the jitters, and in the ring they can show in one of many ways. Tonight for Charlotte, it was being just a little too helpful, I guess would be the right word.
Yeah.
Natalya does not need any help in that ring. She is good. She is good. She can handle it. And if anything, you need to make it look like you're fighting. Everything is a fight. And it should appear that way, and eventually it really got to that fight.
Yeah, especially
you got the fight,
especially in this match, because there were a lot of submissions. There was a lot of ground submissions.
Well, I mean, these are two opponents that have arguably finishing submissions. You've got the sharpshooter versus
it's in their
figure
blood,
four.
no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Natty almost threw an armbar onto Charlotte.
She escaped real quick,
yeah,
boys.
real fast.
You know what kind of damage an armbar can do if you've done any sort of fighting, so get the hell out.
Natty goes for a sleeper, and Charlotte gives her a mean jawbreaker stunner type of thing.
She was on her back. She backpacked her and everything, man. Charlotte just sat down and took over from there.
Yeah, and I mean, this match could have gone either way for me because I got totally lost in it. Charlotte's known to do the figure four neck lock, and she usually just kind of smashes their head into the mat. But tonight she did a full float over, almost leg suplex type of thing that really knocked Natty for a loop.
Does a front roll and carries her opponent by the head into the forward position, causing a lot of impact on the lower back and wrenching the neck heavily.
And she did some more wrenching on the lower back with an abdominal stretch, elbowing Natty in the stomach.
Natty reversed that right back and went a step further, grabbed her leg, and made her do the splits while in the abdominal stretch. I lost it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how bad that hurts.
Yeah.
Abdominal stretches hurt. They just hurt, and that I have no clue. The level of pain she must have been in.
I mean, it was kind of a one-up of okay, sure, slap me on one, I'll slap you one with something a little bit more better. It was another instance of the veteran versus the newbie that we saw tonight. But this one was a little bit more. I think this was a little bit less noticeable than the Tyson Kidd one because they talked about it. They talked about it being I've been here a while and I'm good. Nat hits her version of the butterfly suplex, which was, again,
snappy, beautiful.
Yep.
A little bit different, just a little more snappy.
She threw Charlotte out of the ring and tried to go for and there's a lot of kerfuffle. Charlotte ends up getting back into control and goes for a moonsault, which was gorgeous, perfect.
But she took too long.
Took too
no
long.
water in the pool.
Nope. We got a spinning clothesline into, and here's when all of or a lot of the false finishes started. We got a sharpshooter from Natty, which got reversed into a figure 4, which got held for a while.
They kept going. They kept reversing the pressure, but Charlotte was firmly in control the majority of the time, and Natty just could not find a way out. And they
Kept
ended
slapping
up
each other,
rolling to the outside after multiple slaps, just going back and forth. Just oh man, this was a personal match. You could feel it, especially with family on the outside looking on. You feel like you need to perform at your best because they're watching. They're the reason you're here, so you better impress those guys who are on the outside, or else there's no point for you to be there. So they went all out, just smacking the crap out of each other, and then they roll to the outside and and Charlotte is just tearing at Natty's legs in this compromised position of the figure 4. It was incredible.
and throws Natty into the stairs, tweaks her knee, something fierce.
Well, if it wasn't tweaked before, that didn't
exactly.
help.
Ends up rolling them back in. Charlotte tries going for the sharpshooter.
Nate's told her to do it too. You can see him right outside.
Gave her a quick note.
Do it.
It's just insult to injury. Natty gets out of it, but Charlotte hits her front neck breaker, which we still don't know.
I don't know if it has a name, but it sure is pretty.
Yeah, and Charlotte wins and is the new NXT Women's Champion.
And to the adulation of everybody.
Everybody.
Of everybody.
Yeah, it was a very for how she's been presented and as a member of the BFFs, she's not, necessarily looked on as like the nicest person, the dirtiest diva in the game, but everybody was embracing. Natty was embracing Charlotte. Brett was giving Charlotte a hug. Everybody was just like, this is the next generation.
Yes.
And everybody was super proud of what just went on in that ring.
The people and the fans knew what they had experienced, and they put everything aside to embrace the fact that this woman has now taken the women's championship in NXT, and it is deserved. After a match like that, she deserves it.
Exactly.
She really does. And Flair and Brett were embracing, and it was...
Flair was crying, Charlotte was crying. It was a very emotional moment for that family, and congratulations to not just Charlotte, but the whole Flair family for that sort of step into the next generation of greatness that they got.
And I feel that they felt that David Flair was present there with them, and
100%.
It was definitely a very, very touching moment. And if the match could have been whatever, and that moment really could have just stands out. You don't see that. You don't get to see that.
No.
And after a match like that, man, it just gives you goosebumps.
It was a wonderful moment to experience live on the WWE Network. Yeah. I had to break
Damn
it.
it.
I had to break it some way.
We had
I had to break
Oh.
it because we have to get to Kid versus Neville,
were
which
like
is a
having a
completely
moment.
and it was a beautiful moment. The moment has passed. We are getting to Adrian Neville versus Tyson Kidd, which was an beyond a main event.
Yeah.
This, like, we saw the typical everybody, like the headlocks, the counters, and they were matching themselves, drop kick for drop kick, kip up for kip up, and then it took a turn.
It had that vibe, man. When Kid came to the ring, he had this feeling about him. He used the word before. He used the word destiny, and I think he really felt it. He looked at Neville and everything that Neville was doing, and he said, "Oh, good job, kiddo. Good job." Just a little tussle of the hair, pat on the shoulder. Don't talk down to me.
Yeah. That's when there was a noticeable change in Tyson Kidd.
Well, it was after that, man. Neville kept his game up, and suddenly Kid realized he can't play.
No, it was when they were matching each other move for move.
But Neville just had the edge, just a little bit, and Kid realized, I can't just beat him. I'm not actually better than him. We may be equals, but I'm not going to get the win being equal. And so he took a cheap shot.
Couple of cheap shots. Popped him in the Tree of Woe. Popped him in a headlock, threw him outside the ring, and did a gorgeous dive through the second and third ropes and landed on his feet.
Yep.
Beautiful.
It really was.
Yeah. Tonight, like, if you weren't a fan of Tyson Kidd before, this would sell you.
He pulled it out. I've always sort of been on the fence about Tyson Kidd. I mean, take him or leave him. I don't really feel one way or another. After this, man, he should stick around.
100%.
Absolutely.
He can very much stand with the U.S. title holders and the Intercontinental title holders, he would be something completely different from what the closest thing would be Kofi Kingston of that sort of division and high flying style. But here's where he showed how unique he truly is.
And it's the aggressive nature. That's what really made him stand out tonight. He has not been that aggressive previously, and he was tonight. He pulled out the stops. I wouldn't say he was your full-blown bad guy, but he really made you believe that he wanted this.
No matter what.
And he was putting Neville through hell to get it.
Mm-hmm. And we got a double crossbody. Both of the guys are down. Then Neville ends up starting to get into control, puts Tyson in the Tree of Woe, which...
Turnabout is fair play.
Exactly.
Now, if you were a good guy doing that, it's against the rules. You would think to yourself, I'm not going to do it. But if somebody does it to you, you should definitely do it to them because that's just fair. Mm-hmm. The ref cannot admonish you for that as hard because you are doing what he did to you. Turnabout is fair play.
Neville hits a gorgeous springboard forearm and goes for a dive after Tyson ducks out after that. And Kid doesn't let him do it. He's like, hey, I got my dive in. You can't have yours. Straight up kick to the head.
And that's exactly what you should do. You see the crowd. You see what they want. They want Neville to fly. They want him to dive. They want that excitement. Kid just takes it away.
And he knows to keep him on his feet. Do not get him off the ground because that's when he can really start.
You got to keep the flying man down. That's where he is at his weakest. If he needs to fly to get his offense, take him down. Just take him all the way down.
We get a Kid in the corner going up for a splash or something, but we don't know because he gets cut off. Looks like Adrian Neville's going for a superplex.
We haven't seen it tonight.
Nope. And it would fit perfectly. But Kid goes for a sunset flip powerbomb, and right as he starts to power him down to the ground, Neville backflips out of it.
Like he's some sort of spring-loaded freak of nature. I've never seen anybody just do it like that.
No, it's just like whoop, right out, and Kid gets mad, runs at him, and gets hit with a powerbomb, a sky-high powerbomb, because that was another huge elevation.
And a Kid's face after he flipped out of that was like, crap. I would be pissed. I would definitely be pissed. I'm gonna kick. Oh!
Adrian goes for a springboard something, but again, we don't know because Kid runs up and it's a springboard side Russian leg sweep.
Catches him right on the ropes. It must have been a surprise for Neville. Oh, hi. Oh, crap.
Going for vertical suplex. They both... Was it Kid end up suplexing Neville to the outside?
It was...
We couldn't tell because both went over.
Kid was trying to go up for another splash or some aerial. Neville hops up and suddenly gives him a huge super Frankensteiner.
Oh, we're not there yet.
We're not there?
No, the vertical suplex where they both went outside of the ring.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't even write that down.
Getting ahead of
I was too busy
yourself.
yelling at the TV.
They go for a vertical suplex and have so much oomph that they both go over the top rope.
Yeah, I think it was Kid trying to suplex Neville outside the ring. Neville hangs on, pulls him with him.
No, if I go down, I'm taking you with me. It was a weird Andros moment.
Or was it was Neville who suplexed Kid and then he came over. Oh, it was amazing. It was
great. It was killer. It's something that you don't see every day.
No. It showed the caliber to which this title is being contested. Neither opponent cares about their physical well-being any longer. It is all about this title.
And speaking of something you never see every day, Kid goes for the sharpshooter. Okay, whatever. But then drops down, gets a tighter grip on the legs, and grabs his arm and puts him in a triangle sharpshooter.
Basically.
Essentially, is what it looked like. It was
honestly,
mad.
It's really simple to do. If the mechanics of it, I could replicate that. But
love to see it.
The fact of the matter is, he thought of it. Mm-hmm. He was the one who thought of it, and so all the power goes to him.
It was gorgeous.
I don't even know how Neville escaped. He had him folded in complete half like an accordion.
Too close to the ropes. Neville grabbed the ropes.
He was this close to being completely out of oxygen, and he just managed to reach far enough. I mean, he couldn't even stretch. He just had to roll and just kind of...
Neville tried to get himself up on the ropes, gets caught in between the second and third, just kind of hanging there. With Tyson Kidd on the top rope, front flip, leg drop that seemingly lays Neville out for good. 1, 2, Nope. So Kid is starting to lose it, goes up to the top rope, and that's when Neville runs up and hits a Frankensteiner, a super Frankensteiner.
Both of them standing on the top rope, super Frankensteiner throws Kid across the ring, and everybody can see the setup coming, baby. It's time for the Red Arrow.
Neville hits the Red Arrow and retains his NXT championship. He goes for a handshake after the match, thanks Tyson Kidd for pushing him to a limit that he didn't know that he had. Kid shoves him right off and walks back disappointed.
That's just how it is sometimes.
But
you can't always be friends after a match like that.
That special outdoes most pay-per-views that they put on because it was new. It wasn't the regular type of WWE style that we see. It looks like they're trying to evolve their style, but we're waiting for the transition. It was amazing. It was great.
Now, because of this special, it gave me this idea, and it's a long shot. I think WWE could open up a new territory system.
They could.
With this. They could do a Florida region. They could do maybe 2 central United States regions and a West Coast region.
That's where you're getting to.
And they would be their own brands, their own independent brands, like NXT is his own brand. They could all have their own brands with their own talent that could then move to the main roster, but they could operate on a territory system. A new territory system.
That could be the next step.
I think that where it could go, and I think everybody would like to see that different talent from regions of the United States
and all over the world
featured on a world stage now with this network. It's no longer searching the internet; it's all available right there. The best talent in the United States and the world, right at your fingertips, and it's amazing. It's amazing what could happen, and what we got tonight was absolutely undisputably
100%
amazing.
I say it beats out the last one. What do you think of tonight's show?
Better than the last one.
And do you think this had more poppable moments than WrestleMania 30?
Oh, you're putting me on this spot.
Yes, I am, because there's a lot of moments in 30 that really made us like super excited and like happy to be fans, and this is one of those things that did it again.
If I'm judging one against the other, I'd say that this is better because the Undertaker did not lose tonight. And,
we were reminded in the pre-show.
Yeah.
But what did you think of NXT TakeOver? Let us know in the comments on iTunes, and make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. Check out the AfterBuzz TV app, and leave comments on our YouTube page.
Absolutely, we'll be there.
Yep.
We'll be talking with you whether you like it or not.
Where can they find you, Hobo, on the internet?
I am on the internet, on Twitter, @TrueHobo, and if you want a swanky shirt that says my beautiful name or has my gorgeous picture on it, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Hobo.
And you can find me on Twitter @SoapboxMark. You can find us all here on Twitter @AfterBuzzTV. And you can find the two of us on YouTube @SoapboxCarTV, where I will be taking that title from him very shortly.
If I don't lose my mind first, yeah.
Thank you for joining us tonight on NXT. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye, everybody!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.